playing around with the intros. Well, we're not unhinged tonight. We're just regular after dark.
Just regular after dark. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
So, had to jump on there, even in the weird situations. Alabama's first scrimmage yesterday. And Rod's like, we don't know if we can break this down just on us. Who do we know who is the funniest, best looking, most intelligent person that we could get to come on? And we both said Wyatt. Same time. So Wyatt, sir, it is good to see you, man. Thank you for jumping on with us.
Gentlemen, I appreciate it. Two of my favorite hosts to go on with. And look, you can never go wrong doing a live stream at 8:30 on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Nothing bad has ever happened.
Exactly. I am absolutely with you. So, well, we're just going to jump right into it. We were going to try and get on here last night, but definitely some different family situations kind of slowed us down. So we appreciate you jumping with us today. So if you look at reports about the scrimmage, you would think that we went out, we ran one play, AK Deer scored, he got hurt, the whole scrimmage was canceled. Like, am I far off, or was that the dominating news?
No, it was the dominating news that, AK Deer he scored a touchdown during the scrimmage, and then he, let up off the gas a little bit because he had nobody between him and the end zone, and unfortunately he got rolled up on, and it's an ankle issue. We've all been reporting lower body injury, but it's tightrope surgery. That's what's going on. Right. He's going to be out for 6 weeks here. I think Pete Nakos had put out that it's going to be 6 weeks, but so kind of sucks. You're not going to have AK Deer for the start of the season, somebody that had been dominating the start of fall camp, and everything that I'd seen, everything that I'd heard is that AK Deer was having a really good camp. And even when you look at like the I don't want to say depth chart, but like the order of progression, right? When we were out at a couple of these practices here, AK Deer was working his way up that lineup, because I remember the first couple of days it was Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, AK Deer, and then EJ Crowell and Trayshawn Brown and Khalifa Keith in that order. And then Monday and Tuesday when we're out there, AK Deer is one of the first guys out. Like, he's number 2. So it's like, okay, it's starting to feel like, first week of fall camp, you don't really put a ton of stock into the depth chart stuff or into the order of progression stuff, because, it's just a carryover from spring, right? So whatever we saw on A-Day, that's probably what it's going to look like those first couple of days of fall camp. But now that you're getting into scrimmage week, you can start to pay a little more attention to it and be like, okay, where are guys lining up? Who's, we know Dijon Lee and Xavier Brown are going to be the first 2 guys off the bench at cornerback. Right. But who's the next guys that take reps behind them? Because at this point, now you're starting to see some of these position battles get worked out. It's why I put a little bit more stock in what Ryan Grubb had to say about Mal Waldrop earlier on Monday. It's like, okay, at this point, we can start to kind of, take some meat and potatoes out of what these coaches are saying, rather than just, we're excited to be back out here. It's fall camp. So, but yeah, AK Deer, tough injury. Earliest he could come back, I think, is South Carolina. That's if he's ahead of schedule and all that. So you're going to get a couple of games this season. No AK Deer in the lineup.
Yeah. So I've seen this movie before. Alabama running back doing well, gets hurt, comes back against Georgia, and leads the team to victory. Do I get to watch part 2, or is that just too much to hope for?
This running back room's in a better spot than it was last year, right? Even with, a lot of the same guys in that room, I think this room is in a better spot than it was last year, just from, number one, a health standpoint. Like, Daniel Hill wasn't healthy going into the season last year. Kevin Riley was kind of an unknown guy at this point last year. Richard Young was kind of viewed as maybe one of the lead bell cows once Jan Miller went down, and Richard Young disappeared after the Florida State game. He never really saw the field again. But I do feel like this running back room this year is in a little bit better position going into, like, they're more able to withstand something like this rather than last year's lineup. Because Jan Miller, when he was healthy, he was a great running back. The problem is that he missed the first 3 weeks of the season. Georgia, he wasn't 100%. And then he got hurt 2 weeks later against Missouri, didn't play against Tennessee, finally started to look, like his old self in that Iron Bowl. And he gets hurt in the Iron Bowl and misses the SEC championship. So I do feel like this year's running back room, with the health of the guys in that room, despite the fact that AK Deer and EJ Crowell are banged up right now, I feel like this room's in a better spot.
Yeah. And knowing that EJ Crowell has been banged up throughout the past couple months, what are the chances that he does play against East Carolina as far as him being able to go, as far as him starting or something like that? That's a whole entirely different question. But will he be ready to go versus East Carolina? Do we know that?
I'm gonna say yes. Kalen DeBoer said that he shouldn't miss any games. He was in a walking boot, but it seems like it's a little more precautionary than anything else. Kind of, it almost seems like he re-aggravated that right calf injury that had bothered him in spring.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So more so just being precautionary with him. I do think in terms of is he healthy? That answer is yes. That answer is yes going into East Carolina here. But is he actually going to play? Is he going to get significant reps? I think that's a completely different question because, again, you've got Daniel Hill, Kevin Riley, and my dog Trayshawn Brown here too.
Yep.
He has been – the fact that he got the Chris Lowe endorsement today on X.
Oh, yeah.
And then, just what we've been seeing and hearing about him, he's a diamond in the rough. And he might be another guy that you look at this coaching staff and say, okay, that's another 3-star guy that fell through the cracks that Alabama's got him as a gem.
Josh Jacobs. Yep.
Josh Jacobs, London Simmons, Lottie Brooks, a lot of these guys that were
Mac Jones. Yep.
Mac Jones, Big Mac Jones, no pickles, all fries, Mac Jones.
Let's say hello to a couple people real quick before we keep it going.
Hey, it's my guy Randy.
Boy,
Randy.
Yes,
Shout out to Randy.
Always good to see you. Yep.
Oh, wait. Shout out to Randy from How About the Dogs podcast. There we go. We don't have the production budget for a sound machine yet, so we're going to put that on our Christmas list. So hopefully in a couple months.
Absolutely. Yep. Roll Tide to Keith. Always appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, Keith, for joining us.
Yep. This was a debate earlier.
Yes,
that is the Keith Holcomb.
Heck
legend in one of these parts. National. So there was a debate on an earlier show we were watching.
I had a feeling you were going to ask.
Kool-Aid.
Wait, favorite flavor of Kool-Aid?
Yeah, what is your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid? Since today is National Kool-Aid Day.
I got 2. Because I never give a straight answer, but I got 2. Can never go wrong with grape. That is one of the absolute best flavors out there.
Why do you Wyatt?
That's my number. That's my number one. Is grape. It's always been grape.
It's like, do you guys talk about this before you come on here? Just to,
I love grape. Grape
is always been DMs. No, we didn't talk about this at all.
No, we don't. Go ahead. What's your number 2?
Fruit punch. I'm a sucker for fruit punch.
I was going to say number 2 is either tropical punch or fruit punch, whatever you want to call it.
Thing, basically.
Yeah, same here.
I said red. Red being my favorite. So,
see, Rodg and I are cops. We're the ones that call it out by the actual flavor.
Exactly.
Oh, you saw that post?
Yeah. It's like Gatorade. A cop comes out here and is like, all right, you got the frozen cherry Gatorade. It's like, brother, this thing is white.
Yes. Because once he asked, there's different shades of blue, so you got to call him out for. He goes, no, it's light blue and dark blue. Oh, that is funny. So Randy said, "What's up?" All right, so I don't want to read Alex's next one coming up here, but what's
Lord.
up, Alex? This is my boy. I'm gonna skip ahead to it. So we had a bet going between who was going to have more yards, Daniel Hill and AK Deer.
Yes.
Of course, I took AK Deer, and it's like I have no horse in this race already. I'm already doomed. My horse is just sitting at the starting gate. So yeah, I guess so, Alex.
But Herb, that's actually an interesting question still now. So who do you replace with that? Because with the way things are looking now, I still think Daniel Hill may have the most touchdowns because he might be that third and goal back. But what about yards? Is it going to be Trayshawn Brown who gets more of those explosive plays these first 5 or 6 games of the season with AK Deer out, or is it going to be somebody else?
See, that's a great question. Daniel Hill.
A great question for Rodg. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, do I need to leave? Like,
Rodg and I are having a moment. Let us be. But Daniel Hill's lost about 12 pounds here, but he's still kept a lot of that power. So I do think he is more of a complete back now. Granted, I haven't seen him more than we get 15 minutes out of the 2-hour practices every time we go. And they've practiced, 8 times? So you've got roughly 16 hours worth of practice. We've been to 4 or 5 practices. So I have watched a collective 1 hour of the 16 hours that Alabama has practiced this fall. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But Daniel Hill does look like a more complete back here at this point. And so I don't know if he's still got that pass catching ability that a guy like a Kevin Riley's got, that a guy like AK Deer brought to the table. But I do think he's a little bit more of a complete back, and with his size, he probably should be your best pass blocker. And so I think because they'll trust him in those situations more and more, he's going to end up being the guy that maybe leads I'd say through the first half of the season, I'm about ready to write in Daniel Hill as the leading rusher. Now the back half is where things get interesting because freshmen can get the hot hand with Crowell and Brown. AK Deer is going to come back at that point. Maybe Alabama is still struggling in the run game a little bit, and so it may not be that Daniel Hill's got a 500-yard head start with 6 games left in the season. It may be Daniel Hill's got a 200-yard head start with 6 games left in the year.
Right. And that was always my basis. I felt like AK Deer was more of a home run hitter than Daniel Hill, and he might get more of the tough yards. So my bets are always AK Deer for most yardage and Daniel Hill for most touchdowns.
It was a safe bet until it wasn't.
Yeah,
basically. And so Keith has something about that one, and I promise we're going to move off running backs here in just a second. But how do you feel about this one there, Wyatt?
I don't think AK gets lost in the depth chart just because, again, like you've got Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley, who were kind of the 1-2 last season. So I do think like they were probably going to be the guys that got most of the run against Eastern Carolina and Kentucky to start the year. But then as you move through the season and start to feel out the process of okay, what's this guy looking like? What's he look like when he's got the hot hand? Let's throw EJ Crowell out there and see what he can do in certain situations. So I don't think he gets lost in the depth chart. That's another thing too, is we play a physical game. Like God forbid, knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But what happens if Kevin Riley comes out East Carolina and breaks his jaw again, like he did against Eastern Illinois last year? I mean, it was a cupcake game that he did that in, that happened in. So I don't think he gets lost in the depth chart just because, again, you're going to be putting some freshmen in some really tough situations with Trayshawn Brown and EJ Crowell when you've got veteran guys on that roster with Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley, and then, of course, AK when he does come back. So I don't think he gets lost, but I think, those first couple of games, I'm going to go ahead and throw a dart on the wall and say he's back from Mississippi State. Maybe you don't give him a ton of run in Starkville on the road, right? But maybe when you're at home against Georgia, if you need some more, pass catching capabilities, or you need that home run threat, maybe that is where AK starts to get some of his shots.
I agree with that. I like that. Let's go through and say hello to a couple more people and then move away from running backs, I guess, a little second. Kat, you're never late. The party does not start until you get there, he said. And we can never fire Kat. That is somebody you can never, ever get rid of. And what's up, JT? Old Todd Nation.
Shout out JT.
Y'all doing right? We'll be on there tomorrow night with a live episode of Bama Feud. Yep. That'll should be fun. So Brown is going to shock the world. See, because I was so big on AK Deer, I'm scared to root for anyone now. So I have kind of
you can pick Khalifa Keith. We'll let you have him.
That is did you read our group chat? Because that's what I posted in there today. I said I'm going with Khalifa Keith because I feel like that's the safe. So Wyatt is DMing Rodg secretly and reading my text message.
Yes.
There's nothing this man.
A good report has sources everywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are well known, so I actually believe that. What is going on with Khalifa Keith, though? It seems like after Jahmyr Gibbs, running backs that transfer in just kind of get lost in the sauce. I don't know. Is Keith another one of those? What's wrong with the sauce, Rodg? What is wrong with lost in the sauce?
Because when you said law, I knew you were going to say lost in the sauce. I knew it. I knew it was coming. It was just funny. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, you need help. You need camp bodies, right? You need guys to get you through fall camp and practice in the fall during the season, because you don't want AK Deer out there getting hurt, right? You don't want Kevin Riley to be the guy that's going to go out there and potentially get rolled up on in practice. And so Khalifa Keith's just kind of a Dre Washington type of guy to me. Now, if Alabama gets put in a bad situation at running back, he may have to go in there and take some reps that maybe we weren't expecting him to get. But for right now, I think it's just, he's a veteran body. He provides a little bit of a veteran presence in that room. He's played SEC ball because he committed to Tennessee originally. So he's on the right side of that third Saturday in October rivalry, and he's a healthy body for now.
That just makes me think of Udonis Haslem, who played 17 years for the Miami Heat, but the last 7 never even
Nobody
touched
remembers.
the court.
Yeah.
But they were he's a veteran. So yeah.
Hey man, don't Don't shame my coach like that.
All right.
He play as long as he wants to.
Yes. Great blue raspberry. Let's see what you had to say. I think they're being more cautious holding Crow. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lisa. Especially given our injury history, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know, and just as dynamic as he's shown to be. I would love it if he's completely healthy, and then you almost just give him some spot carries here and there just to see what he can do versus this is our lead back already in his freshman year.
Yeah.
I also feel like injuries have just been
I love these.
The injury situation at Alabama's running back position, though, has been something that's been really interesting to keep track of. Because, I mean, even going back to, like, 2021, that's okay, Keith. I still like you anyways, even though you're not that one.
Wait, can I say that? I'm sorry. The first time he ever posted on here, Rodg was, like, texting me, like, is that? I was like, I don't know, but we're just going to say what's up either way.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're just going to be nice either way and hope for the best. But the running back injuries thing is very interesting to track over the last several years because, I mean, even dating back to 2021, right, where you had Brian Robinson and Trey Sanders and Jace McClellan and Roydell Williams, all of them were hurt by the end of that season. Brian Robinson played in the SEC championship with half a hamstring. And so literally they're converting Demoy Kennedy and Christian Leary to running back, and Christian Leary caught a touchdown as a running back from Bryce Young against Arkansas that season.
I remember this.
Like, that's just so random. And so 23, you had guys banged up. 24, you had a couple of guys nicked here and there. 25, it kind of reared its ugly head with Jam Miller. And 26, not the best start with A.K. Deere and E.J. Crowell.
Yeah.
I think running back is just that's that position. It's just so easy to get banged up, you know?
It's almost like running full speed at a bunch of 300-pound men isn't good for you.
Right.
Yes. If I had a kid, that'd be the last position I'd want them to play. You want to play running back? No. Because everyone looks at the big hits. It's not even the big hits. It's that 2-yard run. And like you just said, 2 300-pound linemen fall on you. And they're like, oh, not a big hit. I'm like, yeah, okay. You let them fall on you, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So.
Go wreck your Hyundai Sonata and then tell me that didn't hurt.
What up, Big Mike? Always good to see you. So
shout out to Big Mike.
Kevin Riley jumped out last year, and then it seems like he's gotten lost a little bit, so it'll be good. I was waiting so Randy texted us yesterday about reading reports, so I was waiting for this one. So O-line's still a work in progress. I think that's kind of what we all expect.
I believe so. It's going to be like that for a little bit, isn't it?
They are progressing in the right direction, but from what it sounds like, and my guy Christian Miller was at the scrimmage, so I talked with him a little bit about it too, and listened to his show about it. That line they got to improve quickly. Now they were better in pass blocking than they were in run blocking, but a lot of it's just the cohesiveness, right? I mean, you've been having battles all over the place, with Mal Waldrop and William Sanders and Ethan Fields at left guard and Javen James and Nick Brooks at right tackle. So it's been a little bit of a battle back and forth a little bit, but I do think this first scrimmage, I think, was really key to figuring out the cohesiveness of that offensive line with Mal Waldrop at left guard and Javen James at right tackle. It seems like that's the direction they are leaning right now, and if that's the case, I'd put the best 5 out there and rock on because they've got to develop that chemistry, that communication. But, yeah, it was not the best day for the offensive line. But on the flip side of that, defensive line had a great day.
Yeah.
Terrence Green looked phenomenal. Devon Tompkins has been a wrecking ball. Yanze Pierre is what we expected to be. Luke Metz and Caleb Woodson are, hauling tail, getting downhill and making hits. So is part of that the defensive line is that good? Or is the offensive line that bad? Or is it somewhere in the middle? So that's one of the risks you have with scrimmages, right? Yeah. The defensive line looked phenomenal. Does that mean the offensive line sucks? I don't think so. But we won't have an exact answer until, East Carolina and Kentucky.
Yeah.
Right. And we put out a video about red flags, like what would be your worries. And that is part of the worry. When you're watching something, for every good means something bad happens. So, like, which side of the coin are you on?
Yeah.
Are you happy or excited about it? So, for sure, Keith. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's NIL has really just taken away depth. Like, you don't have the great starters behind your starters like you used to. So
I was looking at a stat the other day about that depth thing. I think like every contender in the SEC, their like blue chip ratio has dropped 20% over the last year. So like from including Georgia, and I thought this was an interesting one. Georgia was at like over 80% blue chip ratio whatever
What's up, Adam?
last season.
Right.
They're in like the 70s right now. Alabama was like low 80s. They're in the 60s in percentage right now in terms of blue chip ratios. So
Right.
I think it's really interesting that NIL has started to hit some of this stuff very heavily.
I agree. When we said, yeah. And defense is always ahead of the offenses. Plus, I feel like we're going to have one of the top defenses. So
I was going to say if we come out of that second scrimmage hearing that the offense has really taken the next steps and they looked so much better in scrimmage 2 than they did in scrimmage 1, then I'll know, okay, everything's on track. Everything's, we're rocking and rolling. We're doing good right now. But if it comes out, hey, defense dominated the day again, the offensive line looked kind of rough and the quarterbacks really struggled, both of them really struggled with the first team offense, then I'm starting to get a little bit worried about what this offense is going to look like. And for a guy like Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer, where offense is your specialty, it's like Nick Saban coming out and allowing 500 yards per game on defense.
Yeah,
that's not supposed to happen.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Do you? Not necessarily off of the scrimmage, but because you just said that, is this a make or break year for Grubb in particular?
For Grubb, yes. For Ryan Grubb, I think this is a make or break year because when he came into Alabama, thank you, Adam. When Grubb got to Alabama, right? What did we hear? He's a hard ass. He's going to get all up on everybody. He's not going to, take this baby soft bull crap. Well, Ryan Grubb, what did we look like last year?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we were a little bit softer, right? We got punched in the mouth. We didn't respond. Florida State punched you in the mouth defensively in week 1. And what did your offense do? You rolled up into a little ball into the fetal position and didn't really fire back, right? Agreed. Oklahoma, I think they fought a little bit more in that game, but that was just a rock fight against the Oklahoma Sooners. And it feels like every game against OU is going to be that way right now. Yeah. But SEC championship, right? You rolled over and died. And then Indiana took the car, backed up, and then ran you over 2 more times in Pasadena. Yeah. So at this point, I think, this is a big year for Ryan Grubb because if the offensive line is soft, and keep in mind Adrian Clem too, because he's on a 1-year contract. So if he's not, if the offensive line doesn't take a step in the right direction, Clem can get out. They can move off of Clem and get somebody new in there immediately.
Yeah.
After this season. So, but like if the offensive line is soft, if the passing concepts are not the best, if the quarterback really struggles to progress, I think at this point Kalen DeBoer may have to make a tough decision and move off of a guy that he calls one of his best friends because they've been together for so long and they've done so much good stuff. But no, Adam, I don't think that happens. I think it would be.
I was going to say no on this one as well.
No, not in the middle. Probably not.
Do I tell this? Do I say this?
Yes. We don't even.
Go ahead.
Yes. Right. What do you need to stretch to first? You need to
all right, let me stretch a little bit here. No, it was very known that Chris Kapilovic was not going to be back in like October.
Yeah.
Right, with how the offensive line was playing, it was very known that he probably was not going to be back. And so, but you notice how long they kept him on the staff.
Yeah.
Right. He was still on staff in November. He was still on staff in December. They played 2 playoff games with him. I talked to Chris Kapilovic in Pasadena, and his entire vibe was just, hey, man, I'm happy to be here right now. There were some very uncomfortable conversations had on that plane back from Pasadena. And Chris Kapilovic is a amazing human being, and he's a better man than me. Because if you'd have told me I was getting fired and but you're still going to make me go recruit for you, hell no.
No.
I'd have sabotaged every single one of them. He's a better
I'm like, you do not want to go there. You do not want to go there.
Yeah. Hennessy,
literally, I'd shown up with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Roll up to the facility. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Exactly.
Hey, I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Right.
Exactly. But no, Chris Kapilovic, he is an incredible person, and the fact that he was willing to do that is a testament to his character. But yeah, no, they didn't wait until February on him.
Right.
I know that much.
There you go, Keith. Yeah. And that's the problem too, with as much trouble as you went through to get him to see the performances that we have. And I don't even think it's just it's the lack of adjustments. I get that maybe you're still piecing stuff together, but having a new offensive line for the Oklahoma game didn't make any sense. Coming out and running like 3 times against Indiana in the first drive and then just kind of doing whatever. Or the first drive was balanced against Florida State and then doing it just didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't feel like. No, that first drive against Florida State, we were so ecstatic. I was looking at her. I was like, this might be our year. This is it. Like that was a really well balanced drive, running the ball, passing the ball. We moved the ball up the field, and then the rest of the game just kind of went, downhill. And then we saw what happened with the remainder of the season, especially with the lack of the run game. And it was still surprising to me to see that we made it to the playoff and won a playoff game with very, very little of a run game. So I just feel like
with zero.
That's the thing, though. They made the playoff,
right?
And they averaged take out ULM and Eastern Illinois because the 4 of us or the 3 of us could have gone out there and beat them.
Yeah,
but
yes,
take out those 2 games. You ran for 84 yards per game. That is worse. That is like 133rd in the country. There's 135 FBS teams, or at least there were at that point last year. So you were damn near dead last.
Yep.
Right.
You won 10 football games. You made it to the SEC championship. You won a playoff game on the road and came back down from 17 points and made the Rose Bowl. If you can just get 130 rushing yards per game against everybody, this isn't including, this is including everybody. Yeah. But if you can get 130 rushing yards per game,
then you're good.
Alabama's going to be, I don't want to make the declaration that they're back because they've still been relevant on the national stage, but Alabama's going to be a force to be reckoned with if they can get some sort of consistency out of the run game.
Right.
And
keep in mind, these are questions that we're going to want to be answered in game 1. They're not going to be answered during the East Carolina game, maybe not even after the Kentucky game, but we know how Bama Nation is and we know how restless they can be. So they're going to want to see changes
100%.
Immediately. First quarter, East Carolina, we're going to want to see run, pass. It's not going to happen that fast, but I'm just telling everybody that's what we're expecting. So
yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're not expecting us to be rational, right, Rodg?
Yeah.
But I said this last year after the Florida State game when, everybody was the sky is falling, Bama's dead, fire DeBoer. Yeah. I said this for the ULM game last year. ULM's not going to show us ULM's not going to show us anything.
Right.
We can run for 500 yards and throw for another 500, and Ty Simpson has 7 touchdowns. It does not mean jack diddly squat. It means that much right there. Big old goose egg. That's the same exact thing about East Carolina. No disrespect to the Pirates.
Right.
But come on.
Right.
It doesn't matter what we do or what Alabama does in week number 1. Yeah. I'm not taking any of it to heart. But week 2 against Kentucky is when I'm going to start paying attention because that is SEC level competition, because you're on the road in the SEC in a spot where historically under Kalen DeBoer, you have really struggled in these spots.
Yeah.
So if you go out there and you struggle win, or God forbid, the worst happened and you lose that football game, because we've seen it happen before. If that is the case, then I'm really worried about where this season's heading. If you're struggling or you lose to Kentucky, I'm super nervous about where everything is going to go.
I labeled.
You go out there and win that game by 2 scores. All right. Now you got my attention, Kalen DeBoer, because that's a spot where you really have struggled the last 2 years.
For sure.
I labeled the Kentucky as the trap game when you asked me, Herb. I don't know, made me feel a little weird going into Kentucky like that, knowing that they have a really, really good defense. I'm not worried about them offensively, but just how are we going to perform on the road with this early offensive line, still trying to figure out the run game. Game 2 of whoever the quarterback's going to be. There's still going to be a lot of uncertainty in week 2. We have a lot of questions to answer. So
no, absolutely, and like you said, we've struggled in that spot,
right?
And which quarterback takes more reps in game 2 against Kentucky, or is it 100% for one guy?
It is 100% for Keelan Russell.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I still think, based on what I've heard from the scrimmage, yes, Austin Mack had 3 touchdowns and an interception, but one of those touchdowns was in red zone. So, you kind of have to score in red zone. If you're not scoring in red zone, period, Godspeed, soldier. You ain't playing here this season. So they both did some good things in red zone here, but it just felt like Keelan Russell, at least from the guys I talked to, it just felt like Keelan Russell was so much more electric, right? With how good the defensive line was that I had mentioned earlier that they were wrecking up shop during the scrimmage. With how good they were, the quarterback had to get outside of the pocket and make really good plays and make off-platform throws. And in that highlight video from UA that you saw Keelan Russell make one of those throws. The running left, throwing back right to Marshall Pritchett. It looked really, really nice, but he made more of those plays than Austin Mack did, which helped the offense move down the field a little bit more. I'd even go as far to say Keelan Russell, if I remember correctly from the guy I talked to, led 3 scoring drives. He had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. He moved the ball a lot more effectively than what Austin Mack did. Yes, Austin Mack had a couple more scores passing, but one of those was on a wide open breakaway play by Jay Lindsey. Right, it was almost like an RPO where Lindsey got caught out kind of wide open in no man's land. Yeah, Austin Mack just flips it to him, and there's Lindsey off and running. But outside of that drive, apparently Austin Mack did not move the ball very much during that scrimmage.
Right. Was that Lindsey or was that OJ Howard? I missed what you said that when your tight end just randomly decides to have a breakaway. Which, by the way, Kat asked a question about that too. What do you think of Owens?
I love him. I love Richard Owens. I think from what we've seen and heard about him is that he was an offensive line coach from Louisville, for those that don't know. So he's coming in, coaching tight ends. He's played tight end in the NFL, but he's a guy that's going to help this tight end room with blocking in terms of, just chipping on the line of scrimmage and then slipping out into the flat for a check down, or in the run game, right? Helping out with that. Or if you're keeping a tight end in to block, right? Let's say, he's running a route and you hot route it and say, hey, no, come on. They're bringing 6. I only got 5 guys here. I need you to stay in and block. He has helped them do so much more from that aspect, especially guys like Caleb Edwards and Marshall Pritchett, who already had the dynamic ability to go be pass catchers and go make plays in space. He's now helped them really take their blocking to another level, making them more complete tight ends, right? And Josh Ford is another guy, the Oklahoma State transfer that – I don't know that I'd necessarily call him Robbie Oates from a blocking standpoint, but he's more Robbie Oates than he is anything else from a blocking standpoint.
Right. I think what we've all heard for sure about
Ford.
Way more.
So I think at this point, Ford's going to be a guy that they really, really rely on in both passing and running, because he's a guy that, like I said, he can go out there and he can block, but his receiving ability is much, much higher than what Robbie Oates was. No disrespect to Big Robbie. I loved Robbie Oates. He was phenomenal. Yes. He was like my favorite player here for 4 years. Yes, it was Robbie Oates. But
we have a Seahawks friend that was actually happy to that they drafted him.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. No, Oates was great. He always got open. He just wasn't, there was no breakaway to the touchdown.
No breakaway speed.
Robbie Oates caught the ball 4 yards downfield, and it was a 5-yard gain.
Yes. But he was always reliable, and like you said, blocked his butt off. So I loved it. Yeah, and I think that's just the thing. Your ceiling is way higher with Keelan.
Yeah.
And then Alex actually had a specific question for you.
If Keelan loses the job, is it because Mac is better or Bama's playing it safe? No, it'd be because Mac is better. I think it's very, very telling that you have a 4th-year guy in this system going up against a 2nd-year guy, and Kalen DeBoer is at least telling us that he's no closer to making a decision yesterday than he was, 2 weeks ago.
Right.
If you want to read between those lines a little bit, let me help you. The 4th-year guy should be running away with this because he knows the schemes, because he knows exactly where everything is going to be happening on offense. And hell, he's been at Bama longer than Keelan Russell has too. So guess what? He should know where Kane Womack's defense is. So if nothing more, Austin Mack should be able to kind of, play the matchup a little bit and be like, and say, okay, well, I know I can fit this ball in against Red Morgan with the first team defense, but if I'm throwing this ball against Dijon Lee, ain't happening. I'm going to throw it the other way. So the fact that a 4th-year guy is not running away with this right now, it tells me all I need to know. The longer this goes on, the longer this goes on, the better I feel about Keelan Russell being named the starter.
For sure.
It's a good way to put
a lot of times. I think your long-term health at quarterback position is also better with Keelan Russell starting this year and next year with progression. So if he can win it this year, it does seem like, I mean, that's just your better choice. So this is about Owens, and I think that was another reason why they hired him, not just as tight ends, but just to help out with that. The tight end room is loaded.
They also hired a former South Alabama offensive lineman as like assistant tight ends coach. So they are very keyed in on the fact that they got to fix this run game.
Yeah.
Well, here goes another one then.
If the run game fails,
my personal thought, I'll give my quickest answer. I think if
yours.
the run game fails again, I think Grubb is gone. I think you've put too many linemen out there and too many different backs to where if we're not figuring something out, I definitely think Grubb is gone.
I think there could be some serious changes if the run game does fail again. And part of it is also, okay, why did it fail, right? Did it fail because the running backs don't have breakaway speed? Did it fail because they've got poor vision? Or did it fail because the offensive line, can't block to save their lives, right?
Yeah. Right.
So if it depends on what I guess is attributed to the failure, right? If it's the offensive line, Clem's out of here, Grubb's out of here, and we're gonna do this whole song and dance again next year. New OC, new O-line coach, probably some new faces in that offensive line room. If it's the running backs, I think that there's a decent chance that it's Ryan Grubb and Robert Gillespie that are gone, because Gillespie's been the running backs coach since 2021. When we've had that steady decline in running backs at the University of Alabama. So I'm not expecting this to be leaps and bounds better. Like don't expect this to be a top, 60 unit in college football this season. But being a top 100 unit in the run game means, based off last year's stats, that you averaged 134 rushing yards per game. Right. I feel like that's doable. So if that's the case, and you are averaging 30 or 40 more yards than you were last season here, I feel like that's enough to warrant, okay, Grubb, Clem, Gillespie, you guys have finally taken that step in the right direction. Let's see if you can keep it going with that continuity back on offense with the offensive line, the quarterback, and more than likely a handful of those running backs.
Right. No, and I agree. I think, and there's a Keith put up here. B. Jemin talked about how good the defense is. I think part of this point is, with as good as we expect the defense to be and how dynamic our passing game can be, we don't need a top 5, top 10 running game. No. We just need you to not be running backwards.
We need a relevant running game.
Yes. We need the other team to at least think that we're going to.
That's what I was going to say. We need our opposing defenses to actually say, okay, we have to stop the run, as opposed to last year. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's another thing about last year too, is that how many passes over 20 yards through the air did Ty Simpson complete last year? I'm not looking for an exact number. It wasn't many, right? I mean, how many times did we sit there and think back and it's like, okay, yeah, he hit a vertical shot, or there was a guy running wide open downfield and he was able to hit him in stride. It wasn't very often, right? So you couldn't run the ball. You couldn't really complete anything more than further downfield than a 15-yard dig to Jeremy Bernard. What do defenses do? They start crowding that line of scrimmage. They start crowding that box, and that is making your life so much more difficult than it has to be. Because if you hit one deep shot, awesome. Now those safeties got to drop back and respect that deep passing game. We saw it all last season. They were not able to hit damn near anything. But so we saw it last year, though. I think if you have a little bit more of a threat of a vertical passing game, that will force that will allow that run game to be a little bit easier. Whereas if you also have the run game going, it's going to make that vertical passing game easier. And it's just everything works hand in hand with one another at that point.
No, I agree.
Agreed.
Alex is he's gassing you up so he can make sure he gets one more question. Alex knows I love him, man. Alex is supposed to go fishing. Yeah. Alex loves a Saturday night show, so you got to be careful about it. That's why this is just after dark tonight. It's not unhinged, Alex. So keep the clothes on. But here we go. If Bama has 5 talented backs, but nobody separates, is it proof that we don't have an elite RB1? And can you win the Natty without one? And is that depth? I'm sorry, I skipped that part.
Yeah, is it? I think it's a little more of depth, just because there was so many. I mean, Daniel Hill was a very highly rated prospect. Kevin Riley has been kind of a very nice bright spot. EJ Crowell is a very highly rated guy. AK Deer was very highly rated. Trayshawn Brown seems to be a diamond in the rough. So I do think you've got a lot of good depth in that room. I don't know that they've got a bona fide RB1 as of right now. As of Friday, August 14th, I don't think they've got an official, this is the guy right now. Right. Give it a half a season, and maybe EJ Crowell develops into that guy, right? That's the great thing about football. Be my question. That's the great thing about football. These guys get better. Like, this isn't going to be the same Daniel Hill that we saw last season. Xavier Brown's not the same exact player that he was, in Pasadena, California. He's gotten better over the offseason. So I do think somebody can develop into that spot. Right now, I think your three most likely candidates are, ironically, the three guys towards the bottom of the roster: A.K. Deer, E.J. Crowell, and Trayshawn Brown, just because they're so young. But so I think it's a little bit more of depth, but also the fact that as of Friday, August 14th, I don't think they've got a true RB1. Now, the flip side of that, you absolutely can win a national championship like that, right? If you've got so many different guys, number one, they all run just a little bit differently. They all do something different very, very well, right? They're all good at something. There's nobody that's like, oh my God, he is the best running back since sliced bread. There's no Bijan Robinson in this room, right? But you've got a lot of guys that do a lot of things very well.
Yeah.
So being able to hit them from different areas, right? Hey, AK Deer, that's our speedster. So we're gonna run, halfback stretch, get him off the left hip of that left tackle, and send him down the field to go. Daniel Hill, he's a bruiser. He's gonna run between the tackles. So we're gonna run, halfback ISO and get him up the field as quickly as we can, because when he gets rolling, he's hard to bring down. Kevin Riley, he's more of a pass catching guy. So maybe in these third and longs, third and longs, we're going to stick him in the backfield and we're going to put him out on a little Texas route, right? And then E.J. Crowell does seem to be the guy that's got kind of that do it all type of thing. But running back by committee is definitely an advantage because you've also got that health aspect, right? Now you're playing 15 or 16 games in a season if you make the national championship. So you want guys to be healthy, and the less wear and tear you put on these running backs, the healthier they are going into a potential national championship game.
Yeah. And I think it's changed a lot as far as the running back position. You can absolutely win with timeshares back there. And you kind of look at the Seahawks, they did have a running back win the Super Bowl MVP, but I think what a lot of people remember, he wasn't even the number one running back through most of the season until someone else got hurt.
Yeah.
And they let him walk right afterwards. The running game can survive with having, a multitude of people. So.
Now, don't get me wrong. Is it nice to have an Ahmad Hardy? Is it nice to have a Keywan Lacey or a Mark Fletcher or an Isaac Brown? 110%. But those guys are, they're diamonds. Yeah. You don't find diamonds very often. So at this point, you're kind of okay with the running back by committee, especially if you've got,
agree with this.
I was going to say, especially if you've got guys like Georgia's backfield of Chauncey Bowens, Nate Frazier, and Dwight Phillips.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, those are three dogs that they're going to know exactly how to use those guys and going to be hell to play against them.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, I mean, you put it perfectly, depth and different situations. I'd rather have 5 good backs than just the one.
Yeah.
So,
because if that bona fide RB1 goes down and you get a bunch of scrubs behind him, that's tough. Yes. But if RB1 goes down and you've got 4 guys that are very similar skill or the very similar talent level, you may not see a ton of drop off.
Yeah. Well, before I ask it, so let me ask this then. Are we overreacting, underreacting, or just reacting to the AK Deer injury, given everything that we've said here?
I think we're reacting to it. Just a very okay, this is the guy that was starting to take that next step. He was starting to emerge as one of the key guys in that running back room. But I do think they've got other skill sets. I think if it was just AK Deer, I don't think there would be near as much panic. But the fact that it was AK Deer, and oh, by the way, EJ Crowell didn't scrimmage, and he's been, limited in practice for the last week. All right, well now we've got some red flags because those are I would say the 2 most likely candidates that everybody had to take those next steps and be those bona fide running backs, right? Those true RB1s. So the fact that they are both down right now, I think has caused a little bit more panic. But I think with AK Deer only, it sucks, man. He's somebody that a lot of people, myself included, expected to have a really big role this year.
Yeah. I was about to say that. It seems like a lot of hype he had a lot of hype surrounding his name over the past 1 or 2 months, just especially over social media, Twitter, everything like that. He was getting all the hype, all the love, and then to see this happen is kind of it stinks. However, it is next man up mentality. And, to Wyatt's point and what he's saying about as far as being injured for 6 weeks, I think it could be 6 to 8 weeks. Hopefully he's back somewhere in October and he'll be ready to go. So
seems like that first weekend of October, based on the timelines that I'm seeing and hearing, it seems like that first weekend of October is the target. That's October 3rd when you go to Starkville. Maybe Bama puts to rest, the winning on the road concerns. They're beating Mississippi State by 40 in the fourth quarter. And all right, AK Deer.
Come on, AK, come on out here.
Yeah, come on, little buddy. We got to get you ready to go because Georgia's coming to town next week.
Georgia's coming to town next week. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I like it. All right, because we haven't shown a whole lot of love to the defense. Do you think it's a championship caliber defense?
From a talent perspective, yes. I think this secondary is legitimately one of the best in the country. I don't know if they are the best, but they are one of the best in the country here with Xavier Brown, Dejon Lee, Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb. By the way, Keon Sabb did not run a ton with the first team on Thursday. It was primarily Ivan Taylor, which tells you to go. I can't remember whose show it was. I think it was y'all's show where I came on in like May and said Ivan Taylor is so talented he could start at like 90% of the other schools in the country. Was it y'all or was it JT?
I feel like that was a JT, but so the reason why they asked for bold predictions like a week or two ago. It was just goofy stuff, right? And one of mine was Ivan Taylor will have more interceptions this year than Keon Sabb. And I love Keon Sabb, but Ivan Taylor is kind of like my next guy up. And, and we know about Bray Hubbard because of a Keon Sabb injury, right? Yeah. So does history, not an injury stem, but does he just
does history repeat itself with somebody filling in for Keon Sabb?
You know what I mean?
I could definitely see it. I think Ivan Taylor's a very talented kid, and I honestly get a little bit of from a mentality standpoint, the way he attacks football and attacks the field, I get a little Tony Brown vibes. And I think you pair somebody with Ivan Taylor's talent level. I mean, he's the son of Ike Taylor. Come on, this dude's got to be a good safety, right?
Yeah.
So you combine that talent level with the mentality of nobody's going to beat me that Tony Brown had, even though Tony was wrong half the time. I think it is a phenomenal spot for Ivan Taylor to be in. But the talent-wise, it's national championship caliber. You've got a bona fide pass rusher. You've got one of the best secondaries in the country. You seem to have some guys that like to get downhill and can make hits at the second level and make those calls that the rest of the defense needs. My only question, and I've said this a ton over the last 2 weeks, Yanze Pierre is Batman. Who the hell is Robin? Because if you've only got Batman, then everybody's going to gang up on Batman, and they're going to beat Batman up, and Batman's not going to
Whoa.
Everybody. I'm talking about everybody. All the big bads. All the big bads are going to gang up on Batman, and Batman's going to have his hands full.
Don't make me go back to the house and get my Batman.
Oh, my goodness.
And nobody else. But I'm saying, Yanze Pierre.
No, your point is valid. Your point is good. I'm with you.
Everybody's going to gang up on Batman. And if there's no Robin to come in and help out, well, now the defense is screwed.
Yeah.
Right. If they're double teaming Yanze Pierre and nobody else can get out there and, get off in a one-on-one situation and pressure a quarterback, well, quarterback's going to sit there all day. And as good as this secondary is, a lot of secondaries don't have the ability to cover for 3 seconds or longer. So you've got to get to that quarterback. So you need somebody to be Robin to Yanze's Batman. I think Devon Tompkins can be that guy, the transfer out of USC. I think Terrence Green can be a force to be reckoned with. Apparently, according to Christian Miller, his get off of the ball is faster than Devon Tompkins. And he weighs, here, I'll tell you their weight difference here in just a minute. Devon Tompkins weighs 300 pounds. Terrence Green weighs 320 pounds. So you've got somebody who is 20 pounds heavier and
quicker.
What, like 4 inches taller? Devon's 6'5". Terrence is listed at. He's also
how much taller I am than Rodg, if for anybody wondering.
Terrence is also listed at 6'5". I call cap on that.
Of course.
I think I wouldn't be shocked if Terrence is like 6'6", 6'7", or something like that. But you've got a guy who's bigger, faster, and stronger than Devon Tompkins, and Devon Tompkins is the one that's been getting all the praise. Feels like you could feel some pressure from a couple of different areas on this Alabama defense, and not just Yanze Pierre, go get him.
Yeah. Somebody also threw Red Morgan out there as a possible. I just want to know when you said, is Ivan Taylor about to start warming up shirtless, walking through the field like Tony?
I don't know that we're that far along yet.
Okay. And yeah, Red Morgan, to me, most improved on defense last year, especially
He's
after
gotten a lot of praise.
Yeah, so good. And then BJ, we did discuss this earlier. I don't know if you follow basketball. I just kind of likened him to Udonis Haslem of the Heat, a good veteran presence, but maybe you're not expecting to see a lot from him. And yeah,
he's a good guy, and he's a healthy body right now, and that's kind of what they need.
Yeah. Let's see. Dre Jr. Dre Jr. is going to be the one. I could see that too, running through the shirtless, just out there, just a little intimidating.
Hey man, I think we need Dre Jr. to stay out of the media for a little bit.
Yeah,
I agree.
Hey Dre, come over here, man. Just go play ball. That's all we need you to do right now.
Yep. All right, well, good. We're kind of getting towards the top of that. Rodg, do you have any final questions, scrimmage wise, or even fall camp wise?
No. Well, one question. Yeah, what day is scrimmage number 2, Wyatt? So
next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Okay.
It is on Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested to see why they're doing it on Thursday. I mean, if you're trying to simulate a game situation, nailed it this past Thursday. It was hot as all get out. So if that's what it was, the heat index was better on Thursday than it was on Saturday, then hey, good for them. But holy mackerel, it was hot.
Yeah. Do you think we'll have a starting quarterback named immediately after the scrimmage, or will it be some more time?
Nope. I know exactly. I say I know. This is how I see this playing out here. Thursday they scrimmage, right? No announcement from anything tomorrow. Or no announcement from anything. Sorry, I just saw Randy's comment that the dog scrimmage tomorrow, so the word tomorrow was in my head. No announcement on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, they're off of practice. Sunday is their first practice following that second scrimmage. They'll go through that practice and announce the starter to the team after practice. Monday, they will have their first full practice as starting quarterback. And then Monday afternoon, the media meets with players. We'll get to talk to the starting quarterback after his first practice as the official starter. This is how I see it playing out. Because Kalen DeBoer has said before that he wants to give them some time to build all that chemistry that they need with the starting offense, right? So you don't really want to do it going into game week because then that adds an unnecessary distraction going into game week. And that's like the Monday after the second scrimmage is a week out from the start of game week. So it gives them that full week of practice to be, all right, this is my job. I'm the starting quarterback. Kind of work through the emotions of being named a starter. And then Monday, you're getting ready for East Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
This is why this is my boy.
Oh.
Somebody's popular.
Was that AK Deer or who was that? Oh, okay.
I wish that was AK Deer. I was going to offer him my ankle. Like, he can't have my knees because my knees are bad, but the ankle or anything else he needs. No, that's the wifey. And it was a video call, so that means my nephew's probably on the phone waiting.
Gotcha.
So this is why I love you, Alex. You said, hey, I'm going to ask one last question. Then you ask 2 more questions, and they're like, don't skip my questions. Like, this is, Alex, I'm going to give you a hard time because I love you. But this is the question he didn't want me to skip. And then I'll give you some praise from him after this.
The secondary is elite, but the front can't consistently win. Are they actually a great defense, or are they just hiding the weakness of the front seven? I think it's a lot easier to hide. It's a lot easier to hide a bad secondary than it is to hide a bad front seven, if that makes any sense here, right? I do think it's so much easier to hide a bad secondary because if you've got the elite front seven, then they can get to the quarterback in a second, maybe a second and a half on the long end, and so the secondary is not having to go cover very long. But if you've got a great secondary and a bad front seven, you're asking a lot more of the defensive backs. So I don't think – I think that they are leaning towards being a great defense. They've had a top 10 defense the last 2 seasons under Kane Womack. I feel like a lot of people forget about that because sometimes they do tend to give up some explosive plays. But Kane Womack's talked about that. Yeah, bend but don't break. But he's talked about it, meeting with Coach Saban, trying to force a couple of more of those turnovers and play a little more man-to-man coverage, match coverage. So I think you could see this defense, if everybody's hitting on all cylinders, I think you could see this defense be not just a top 10 unit, but closer to a top 5 unit.
I like that.
Yeah, we actually did a video where we picked them as number 3 in the SEC just to start the season. So we're already very high on them. I
was going to say right now, the only two I'd have ahead of them right now is Georgia, and that's because of coaching, and Oklahoma.
Yep.
That was my picks. I did Oklahoma, Georgia, then Alabama for the video.
Oklahoma has got the horses. They've got the coaching staff. Taylor Wine scares the hell out of me, and I'm very happy Alabama does not have to play him this year.
Oh, we're very happy to miss that one. So
yes.
Oklahoma in the regular season just has our number, and I don't even think it matters the sport anymore. So I don't know. They had a kickball tournament. I'm out against them. So and this is Alex showing you some love.
Hey, I appreciate. Hey, man, somebody call
Facts.
ESPN.
Agree.
And let them know.
Yes. Rodg has the number. So
I do.
Yep.
Oh, Rodg.
We're already going to extend it. If you want to do this again next Friday after the other scrimmage, we would love to get together again.
Let's do it. I got nothing going on.
Let's see. So this is what I told you when this is my wife, and that's my nephew is on there, Henry. So look, we're about to get off air. I will call y'all back in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So, can the kickers? I hope not.
It's what's that guy's name? Is it Tate Sandel? Tate
Sandel, the reigning Lou Groza Award winner.
Yep.
So Beach having best question of the night. So yes, this heat is. What's up, Brinsky?
Shout out to Brinsky.
One of our guys, man. Always good to see you, man. Another one of the busier people that we know. So, and Randy said you're a see. Of course, that's because Wyatt is awesome. We told Wyatt the only reason we don't invite him more is because we don't want to wear him out. That's all. But yes, everybody loves Wyatt.
Just
all right, we're about to
Randy
get
and I
out
have
of here.
Randy and I already have a verbal agreement to go on each other's shows for the Georgia week. So
it's gonna be a huge week.
We have to find out what time, because we usually get together with Randy that same week as well. So, Wyatt, I do have an interest or maybe a fun question for you to get you out here. We got to get you a work play. I got to get you a work play live ditch shirt. Before the season. So
I'd love
what I got. Yes. So we got, and I can't believe. So this is so everybody knows Mama Rags was having a little difficulties. Thursday I left work and I came straight here. My wife packed a bag for me, brought it to my work so I could come straight here. She put in here the HerbnRodg podcast shirt. There's not a single Alabama shirt in this bag.
Weird.
The woman who will complain and tell me that all I have is Alabama shirts. I basically have two types of shirts: Alabama shirts and shirts with funny sayings on them.
Yeah.
How did you not get a single Alabama shirt into this bag? Or even one of our podcast shirts. But that's what I'm gonna do. Why? You give me your address, we're gonna send you a work play live ditch shirt.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Work play live ditch for tonight. We're going to go LSU fan, Tennessee fan, Auburn fan,
crap,
Georgia fan.
Crap. All right, Tennessee, LSU, Auburn, and Georgia.
Georgia. Yes, sir.
All right. We're living with the Georgia fan because Georgia fans.
I hope it's Randy.
I'm hoping it's Randy. But no, look, I got no qualms with Georgia fans, man. I mean, like me on Twitter, me and Georgia fans, like we team up and gang up on Big Ten media or on Big Ten people. So I got no I have respect for Georgia because they've won at such a high level.
Right.
I'm gonna play with LSU fans because you're giving me Cajun food. You giving me great food, crawfish, seafood bowl, the whole 9 yards. Love me a good po' boy, and they know how to party.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah! And I get to listen to Boosie. Yeah, nope. Give me the LSU. Give me the LSU fans.
Fair.
Now I got to work with an Auburn fan and ditch a Tennessee fan.
Okay.
I'm gonna work with the Auburn fan because it's really easy to shut them up when you say, "Hey, when was the last time you beat Alabama?"
Yeah. Not this decade. Yeah.
When was the last time you beat Alabama?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And get that gaudy orange out of here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Get
Fair
the
enough.
gaudy
Not as bad.
orange out of here.
Not as bad as what you thought to start. So
Yeah.
No, I heard Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU, and was like, crap.
Well, we appreciate you playing along. Good Lord, I don't know if I want to watch the game more.
I'm not talking about Oklahoma at all.
Yeah.
And John Mateer's my Heisman pick, but I'm not talking about them at all if he's doing that.
Hey, no, so this is what you happen. It's like 4th and 25. John Mateer won't leave he won't leave the field. It's like we're going for a coach. No, we're going to send out the kicker. No, coach.
No, please don't.
No. Look, I'll kick it. Okay, that's fine. Anything other than that. So
Yes.
Kat said yes. I already have him in neat pile. I actually do have just an Alabama drawer now. But come on, wife. Not one single Bama shirt in the bag. That's we gotta have a serious talk. But I gotta call the nephew. All right, let's get the last couple ones out there. Redneck Cajuns, don't let them fool you. I still think it'd be a good time. Better food at y'all game, better not football, better food.
Honestly, fair.
And yes,
Tennessee,
They some stitches. They low down. They dirty.
Dirty.
Well, I said, Wyatt, would love to see you again next Friday. And then we still have, the first week of September before the game.
Mm-hmm.
The official Alabama preview will put you on the spot. Game-by-game predictions, record prediction, MVPs, all that kind of stuff. But
I like it.
Tell us what you got going on, I guess, for the rest of the weekend until we see you next Friday and whatever. Where can everybody catch you?
Yeah, the Deep South College Football Show on YouTube. We are on the road to 150 subscribers. So I've crossed 100 earlier this month and just continuing to truck along with the Deep South College Football Show. I did playoff predictions, version 1.0 today. So version 1.0, that means this is going to change. This is just me workshopping a couple of ideas here. You can follow all of my Alabama coverage at FultonW_ on the X account. I really appreciate everybody who's been following along with that so far through fall camp. And something that was confirmed today, I will be doing a couple of videos with Cover Crimson every week this season. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
I'm really excited about that as well. Johnny Congdon and I will be doing some work on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then I'll jump on with them a little bit post game as well. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it this season.
Awesome.
And I just subbed to the Deep South College Football Show too. So
heck yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. I thought we already were. Are you talking about?
I think our channel was, but not me personally.
Okay, so basically,
I'm subbed to y'all.
We got my personal one is just I don't do anything on my personal one. Just watch videos. So
hey, my number went up. That's all I care about. Yeah. So Rodg, appreciate it.
Of course.
Look, hey, there's you know what? Let me just get it between y'all. Okay, no. All right, let's get the last couple. Thanks for you. Yep, always great stuff. Like I said,
yes, Wyatt, we appreciate you, Wyatt.
Thank you.
We're trying to have a good time and give us. Kat, we actually told the story off air about your mistaking of Florida and Florida State. Person. Yeah. So we did tell that story. And Randy, always good to see you, brother. Appreciate
you, Randy. Yeah.
Anytime you two get together, we definitely be tuned in for that as well. Wyatt, thank you again. Like you said, love to see you back next Friday. We'll do this again after the other scrimmage.
Let's rip it.
For anybody on our channel, tomorrow night we will be doing Bama Feud live. So that's why this kind of substituted for the show. Yeah. Raj, are we still is it still unhinged on Bama Feud? Do I need to bring a shot glass?
I don't think so. No, you don't. You can a cup, maybe a red Solo cup. Let's just ease up a little bit. There you go.
The problem is when you tell me to ease up, does that go from 10 shots to 5 shots? What are we doing?
I don't know. We have to win tomorrow. Wyatt, tomorrow night we're playing Big Mike and Maddox. So
that's gonna be
loser. Basically, losers out. Losers out of the tournament. It's double elimination. Yeah. We've already lost. Yeah. Our first match we lost to the Way Outside's crew.
Okay.
We redeemed ourselves. We beat the Bama Standard crew. So we're 1-1 right now. We got to win tomorrow night, Herb.
So it's double elimination. Okay.
Yep.
Yes. I love this. It's closed optional. Always optional.
Oh gosh.
And this is sadly true. So, folks, we will see y'all tomorrow night.
Yes.
We will see you next Wednesday. Clint Lamb is supposed to stop by. Then Friday with Wyatt and Saturday with KB. So we've got a lot of stuff planned as we get closer to the season. Wyatt, again, thank you. We tell everybody we love you, man. You're particularly one of our favorites. Just don't tell everyone else. We don't want them getting jealous.
Look, I appreciate y'all. I told y'all off the air at first. Y'all are some of my favorite hosts to go on with. So
awesome, and we appreciate that.
Okay. Absolutely,
folks. We will see y'all tomorrow night. Have a great night. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.